Alright, so vlog number 2, Fantastic Lies with the Duke lacrosse team scandal. So basically, the Duke lacrosse team, they got accused of sexual assault. They had a party one night and they hired some exotic dancers to come perform for them. And one of the dancers reported them for sexual assault. And so this led to the rise of a huge case. And before they at the very beginning they talked about how the lacrosse team was like known for partying, and they were kind of entitled, I guess, was the view that a lot of people had on them, and so that made them look guilty from the very beginning. And when I first watched it, like obviously up until the end, I thought they were guilty too for some reason. But so basically what happened is that the district attorney, Michael Nifong, I think was his name, he took the case, and the problem with that is that he formed the conclusion and then tried to steer the evidence towards that conclusion instead of taking the evidence to make the conclusion, because I think he was tampering with the evidence, and he withheld some of the DNA that the lacrosse team had given to show that they were innocent. But one of the key points for where he factors into it is that he was coming to the end of his term, I think it was, as the district attorney. So he took this case and used it kind of as a campaign for himself, because the female that reported the lacrosse team for sexual assault was African American, and so he was going to try to steal a bunch of the votes from the African Americans, and just to make himself look good, that he brought justice to a minority that was violated by these rich white lacrosse players. So it turned into this huge thing with social class and race and all these things, and then at the end, thankfully, they were proven innocent, which was cool, but it was definitely an interesting documentary. But one of the biggest takeaways I think that I got from it is the the importance of public relations between student athletes and the community. Because I think, not everywhere, but I think a common misconception from the community to student athletes is that sometimes there's kind of this stereotype that big name elite athletes are entitled, and some of them do act like they're above the law and that they can get away with anything. And I feel like that gets applied to student athletes in general, which is obviously a negative thing. So I think if student athletes were encouraged to be a bigger presence in the community, I think it would help a lot, whether that be between like community service, volunteer activities, or anything. I think it could take strides in a big way. And then if you have something like this, maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because, like I said earlier, the lacrosse team kind of had this negative outlook for partying and just thinking they're better than everybody. And so a case like this comes up and everyone automatically thinks they're guilty. So I think by encouraging athletes to be more involved in the community, you're obviously going to increase your attendance, you're going to increase your revenue, and you're going to develop strong relationships within the community. And I think that could benefit athletic teams in a huge way.